Yeah. We back by popular demand. So, I usually start off with a song, Pat. I'm trying to think. I'm feeling a little country in here because this next guest of ours, we got a little country thing going on. So I thought about Lee Bryce, Rumors. You know that song?
I have no idea.
Dang, Pat. Let me see. There's a rumor going round about me and you stirring up our little town last week or two. So tell me why. No, let me stop. I ain't gonna go there. But anyway, our next guest,
Episode 46.
episode 46.
Then from Studio 239.
He's doing his thing, Studio 239, where we known to shine. But
Not just a podcast studio, it's a movement. And who are we sponsored by today? Politicking Gyra Larry Love.
man, I wore one of my sponsors' shirts. Matt Goodwin, like, man, just amazing guy, great attorney. He got numerous offices all throughout the Southwest Florida. Originally from Palm Beach, but anything you need contractual, dealing with real estate, closings, and everything else, please go see my homeboy, my good friend, Matt Goodwin Law Firm.
Yes, sir.
Another law firm where I'm the unofficial partner of the law firm, one of the best criminal defense law firms in Southwest Florida. Suarez, Winberg, and Dern. I forgot the names. And Rios.
And Colombo.
Oh, yeah, of course, Colombo, man. Like, I'm still having jet lag from getting back into this country, so y'all have to forgive me this time and this time only because, I don't like to be asked for forgiving. I try to do everything right on first take. But anyway, Tina Della Rosa Insurance and Taxes, one of my best friends for 30 plus years, tax insurance, go see her. She won't let you down, best rates. She do not overcharge.
You see Tina doing the career day at Immokalee High?
I saw it. She asked where I was at. I said, I'm sorry, I'm out of the country. I couldn't do it, but shouts out to my old alma mater. And go ahead, let you
Speaking of law firms, seems like we got a lot of law firms sponsoring us. Martin Law Firm, divorce.
I just saw him in DC too.
Did you really?
Yeah, condolences to his father who's passed, and they just now putting him in Arlington Cemetery.
Oh wow.
Steve Martin and his wife, they was up there. We was on the same plane.
Wow.
Going back and
Our condolences, Martin Law Firm, serving Collier, Lee County, and parts of Tampa. Also want to give a shout out to Becker Custom Builders. You'll meet Blake Becker later today, and then the event tonight. Are you coming to the Built by Becker pop-up art exhibit?
Oh man, I didn't know nothing about that. I have some business I have to tell. Depending on the time.
6 to 9.
Okay.
So Blake Becker Custom Builders, premier luxury home remodeler in all of Southwest Florida. Our guy Blake. Also want to give a shout out to my boy Jeff Delaney, T Clinics. Did you watch that video? I sent it to you.
I didn't get a chance.
No. Did a little skit at T Clinics and the Viva Weight Loss. Want to thank Jeff Delaney, of course, Salon Synergy, our guy Eric Carter, Eric and Anita Carter, over 30 years experience.
Get your hair done while you down here.
Yeah. Got to go see Eric Carter. And then our guy Chris Lee coming through in the clutch, Lee Corp Homes, and of course DTA Naples, Miss Petra. And am I missing anyone? Alda's Diner, where Larry has a forget Governor DeSantis, Congressman Donald, the Larry Love Special.
Larry
Alda's Diner's got a whole meal named after him. Country fried steak, 2 sides.
Yeah.
Probably the best thing on the menu.
Of course.
It's got
I don't put my name on anything if it's not good.
Right.
Big facts.
100.
Yeah.
100. I love it. So let's roll into episode 46.
Episode 46. This next guest hails from the great state of Illinois, the city of Chicago. Well, people didn't know I lived downtown on Michigan Ave for 6 months. I was working on some things with the Chicago Bears, and it was pretty good living in Chicago. But anyway, the next guest, she hails from Chicago.
Flew in from Chicago just for the podcast.
Man, that's so special.
That is special.
You feel special. I feel special.
I definitely feel honored and special.
I met her while handling some business up there, and it was just like it. You know, like that energy.
Mhm.
You feel it as soon as you just. It's that aura. What I told you about that aura I have. It rubs off whatever it is.
Carries.
So, tell you how it all happened, right? We handling business, what have you, and we having conversation. But anyway, when I stepped in the room, you know, 6'4", 287-pound man, you know, big belt, buckle boots, cowboy hat. She was like, "That's my rip." But anyway,
Brother Rip.
anyway, from Chicago,
I
man.
should say she flew in for the podcast, but she flew in for Larry Love.
Nah,
Larry's
she-
the best.
she-
He is
she
like my
applied for-
homeboy.
She didn't fly in for me.
Yeah.
But, you
Larry's
know,
the best.
she has her hands in so many things.
Mhm.
And I will let her tell you, but no further ado than my counterpart to Rip. And I'm just going to say Beth.
Whoa.
And she's the real Beth.
Well, thank you for
Let's
having
go.
me, both Larry and Patrick. It's
Absolutely.
an honor. I'm so excited to be here. Yeah. So when Larry walked into this room,
Yeah.
I was like,
Where's this room? Can you
well, it was at a restaurant.
in a restaurant in DC, Chicago? Okay.
Yeah, and we were doing some work. That time I was doing some political fundraising work, and we had a nice lunch. Got to talking. I was like, love Naples, want to live in Naples someday. And he's like, well, girl, come down, come visit. So every time I come to Naples, I try to tell Larry I'm in town. But, he's so busy.
He is busy.
Guy's so busy.
Because you messaged me on Instagram a couple
Yeah.
months ago and said you wanted to come on the podcast, and I have to check everything about my partner. Like,
Yeah.
can we have so and so on our pod? And there's Elizabeth.
he's
Because you
like
never
the best.
mentioned you knew Larry. You
No,
said you
Larry's
wanted to
the
come on the
best.
podcast.
He's the
Yeah.
best. He's
Yeah.
like the bestest friend you could ever have.
Yeah.
Loyal to the bone.
I appreciate that.
Welcome.
She used to come down to Marco Island when I was living on Marco
I
Island.
pointed
and
out
so-
Yeah.
yesterday where you used to stay. Yeah. Or
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
My family goes to Marco all the time.
but I was just always busy.
He is.
You know,
He's busy.
I'm
I'm a
a
busy
go.
bee.
I mean, the guy was out of the country last week. Like, look at him bouncing back.
not only out
from
of the country, he's
DC.
in Qatar.
Yeah.
I mean,
Listen, I'm trying to get on her level. If I get on her level, I'm good.
so why don't you ask our
So,
guests?
the famous question. Who is Elizabeth? Tell us who you are,
Grisanzio.
what you're about, and what you do.
Sure. So I recently started my own lobbying and consulting firm
Mhm.
last year, about a year and a half ago. I have a background in politics, public policy, political fundraising. I love to advocate for people who need help, obviously, in areas where they either want to grow their business or they want to run for office. And the best part of having your own firm is that you can pick and choose who you work with. I can tell people, I'm sorry, I'm booked. I can't do it if I don't have that 100% feeling that I'm 100% behind them.
Plug your firm in.
Yeah. So
Plug it
I'm
in.
EG Strategies. We do lobbying and consulting work. I'm registered to lobby the state of Illinois, city of
That's a
Chicago.
dirty word, lobbyist, right?
Yeah, it's all about how you look at it,
Yeah.
though, right? So, you have your lobbyists that may lobby for best interest of a
Cancer
research
search.
association.
Sure.
It's like, why wouldn't you want to
Of
be a
course.
lobbyist for an association
Mhm.
like that? And then you have your others.
Mm-hmm.
Won't name any names,
Yeah.
but it all depends on how you look at it. It's all about perspective.
And
Yeah.
congratulations to your success with your one client that we spoke about.
Thank you.
You just closed
Yes.
a big deal.
Huge deal. Huge
Huge,
deal.
huge.
Huge deal. Big. So
Doing big things.
we're really excited about it.
Yeah.
And it's, been a long time coming.
Mhm.
Worked on it for over a year and a half. And so I'm happy to say we were successful. My lobbying efforts were efficient and, they worked.
Just the start, I have a feeling, just the start of many big things ahead for you. And how did you kind of get involved in the political scene and then
Sure.
ultimately into lobbying?
Sure.
Because that doesn't
So-
happen overnight, obviously.
No, and everybody's like, "You're a lobbyist. What do you do? Like, what was the path that you took to get there?" And
Mhm.
I'm like, "Well, honestly, I was political science undergrad. Then I went and got my master's degree in public policy. I was going to go to law school, decided not to. Interned at a law firm, worked for a lobbying firm after I graduated, then worked in government, then worked for a nonprofit, and then worked in corporate America." And it's funny because it's like I've worked in all of the different sectors, right? And then it's full circle because now I own my own lobbying consulting firm, and I can honestly see the pathways that all of these different entities have to take in order to get something done if they're trying to work with government. So it's like, yes, I'm experienced and I know how to handle these processes, but for an outsider looking in, trying to work with a governmental entity, really cumbersome. You know,
Mhm.
there's a lot of red tape. It's bureaucratic, and you know, you have to do it the right way.
And navigate through.
Yeah.
I just got a light bulb in my head.
So did I.
Wilcoxon, Grisanzio Consulting. I could see that being a
I was just about
merger.
to say that.
Yeah, why
Really?
not, Larry? Come on.
I mean,
Come on
who
down to
better?
Florida. You said you was coming
Yeah,
down. So
I
come
am.
on down.
Shit.
I am. I'm going to. My goal is to have real estate here in a year and a half.
That's what's up.
Yeah,
You'll be the face.
for sure.
Be the face.
Yeah.
Because you look much better than I do. So
Thanks, Larry.
You the
You're always
face.
so full of compliments.
and
You're the man behind the scenes.
and I'll just be.
the chain on the bike, making things go.
It'll
Wow.
be very
Something
good
just might have
firm.
formed on
I like
Politicking,
that.
which I
Yeah.
Larry love.
Thank
The
you,
See,
Larry.
it was more than just a podcast
The time
trip.
is now.
The
Because
business
I got
trip.
something I'm gonna run by you.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're gonna
So
work on
yeah,
this.
yeah. We
Yeah. Gonna get the wheels turning.
yeah.
The wheels are in motion.
So being in Cook County, like we all know that's 98, 99%. That's the Democratic threshold.
Right.
Being conservative
Yeah.
and doing what you do, what are some of the struggles
Sure.
you face up there?
So, you know, as a lobbyist, as you know, you have to work both sides of the aisle,
Yeah.
right? And we're seeing a common trend throughout the country these days that if somebody comes up with a common sense idea or policy to improve an issue, if it comes from the right, it's automatically bad,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
So it complicates my life a little bit.
especially in Illinois.
A little bit, right? But what do all people want? I always say 90% of what affects your life every single day happens at the local level. What do people want? They want safe schools, safe communities, and a thriving business community,
Mhm.
right? Those are three fundamental things that everybody will benefit from. So when you look at the city of Chicago, I'm sure you've seen it all over the news. We have an increase in crime,
Really? I haven't heard that.
mass exodus of large corporations, and leadership that isn't held accountable.
I would love to bring the mercantile to Florida.
I was gonna say you campaigned in Chicago for President Trump, correct?
Yeah.
On the bus tour.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
ran me out of. They pretty much ran me up out of the South Side.
Yeah.
It was cool though. It was nice. It went really well. It went better than most will probably ever think
Yeah,
Hmm.
over there.
made some head waves.
Yeah, and it was more, especially the mothers, the women.
Oh, yeah.
The women are way. I was just shocked with
Right.
the response, and so that's what I was kind of upset with the Republican Party, because if you want to get something done, you got to have skin in the game.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to go to those neighborhoods. You don't have to get all 10,
Right.
because if you get 2 out of 10, that changes any election.
Right.
So you think about 1 million people, we'll take 1 million from there, and you have 200,000 of that.
Mm.
That changes big time.
Yeah.
And so a lot of
Gotta
the
start
people was
somewhere.
very receptive. You know, we was giving out gas cards, food cards, and just talking to people about their concerns. Education was the number one. Immigration, but the people coming in and just destroying and taking everything else, that was another thing. And like, people were like, man, we've been here forever. You all need nothing for us, or even try to help us. But now you letting illegals come in here and y'all bending over backwards, giving taxpayers dollars. Like, F you all Democrats.
Yeah.
We done. Like, and that's how they was feeling over there.
Well, to add to that, I mean, you're 100%. So I have family in Illinois that own a lot of businesses. I have really good friends that own businesses all over the city, restaurants, Matchasita, which is a matcha cafe that my cousin owns, uh, pizzerias. The amount of crime that has taken place in front of their stores, in their stores, the amount of garbage you find on the streets. There were migrants all along the sidewalk to get into a coffee shop. Like when you go for coffee in the morning, the first thing you see is a person laying on the ground as you're trying to walk in to get a coffee. That's not great, you know? Or the first thing you see when you land at O'Hare Airport and you're going to baggage claim and you see panhandlers inside asking you for money. We're supposed to be a world-class city. We're one of the largest airports in the country. And the first thing an international traveler, their first trip to Chicago, they're bombarded with panhandlers when they're trying to get their bags. Not a good look, you know? And I think that goes back to like leadership. It's a trickle down effect. I mean, you have your federal leadership, then you have your state leadership, then you have your city leadership. And if
So corrupted.
I was gonna say, you know,
and if
people
nobody's working together,
And
this
peop-
is what's going to happen.
it's just years of corrupt leadership,
it?
and people think they call it the windy city because of the win. It's because of the politics, how crooked
Yeah.
it is, and has been over. Since I
But
can-
our neighboring county is not too far off because those two counties really go at each other. Cook County is the worst, but then Broward County is right neck and neck with them. It's just that Fort Lauderdale is just a lot smaller than Chicago. But those are the two of the most democratic thresholds in America. They are horrible. But I just don't know how you all do it. You know?
I think that there's going to be a dramatic shift in the next couple of years. I mean, you see these large corporations leaving. I mean, Citadel, Boeing, Caterpillar. Like these are large scale corporations that bring an enormous amount of revenue to our state that create thousands of jobs for people who live throughout the state of Illinois. And they're all relocating.
Yeah.
Come on down to Florida.
Yeah. And
Open for business.
Better weather, better environment, definitely better for taxes.
For sure. For sure. But, you know, then you have your nonprofits and all of these after school programs and, you know, programs to help low income children or people who
They said that.
are suffering from mental health. It's great. Like the programs are there, but how are you going to fund them? If all of these corporations are leaving, who's going to pay for these programs?
I didn't look into this. I don't know how true it was, but a lot of those programs, like the after school programs and programs for the inner city kids, poverty and what have you, they said when migrants or whatever you want to call them, the aliens, however people want to address them, say when they moved in, a lot of the money just absolutely dried up and it stopped.
Yeah. And I mean, when you talk about political giving, these large corporations are all leaving. They don't even want to support candidates in the state of Illinois. They're like, we're done. We're moving to Florida. We no longer support any candidates that want to run for office in Illinois because we are leaving Illinois.
But not quite as bad as California, but it's definitely up there. But, you know.
Yeah.
And there's a shortage of U-Hauls in New York and Illinois and California, especially right around COVID, of the mass exodus going on.
Yeah, it was wild.
Talk about some of your favorite things in Chicago, the city.
I mean, the food.
The food, yeah,
The
that's
food
what I
is
thought.
so good. Especially when you come from an Italian family.
Yeah.
You know?
Italiano.
So I don't know if
Yeah.
you know this, Larry Love, though. There's a street, a large section in Chicago named Cermak, you guys call it Cermak Street.
Well, no, it's Taylor Street.
Did they rename it?
Taylor
So it was
Street.
Cermak. But so that was the biggest Czech population in the
Czech.
U.S.,
Yeah.
but it's become more Mexican, other ethnicities.
You know, that's the
now.
biggest population. I mean, the Mexican has the biggest population in Chicago than anywhere in the country.
They yeah.
I don't understand that though. How you get all the way down from
from the border.
and you skip every other city, state, and you go to the cold.
Well, think about that. There's got to be a reason.
So, well, the
benefits.
Italians are all over Taylor Street. So Taylor Street's Italians.
Yeah, but there's a lot of Mexicans
And
in Taylor
then-
Street
but
now too.
then
Because
neighboring,
if you go to the Czech restaurants in Chicago, I went to a couple, it's basically now a lot of Mexicans work,
yeah.
and they said a lot of Mexicans moved into
well, there's a
that. And this was I was there
neighboring-
about 15 years ago, so I'm sure it's
changed a little.
Yeah.
There's a neighboring community right next to Taylor Street. It's Hispanic, primarily Hispanic, called
Great.
Pilsen. The most amazing, authentic food you will ever have. Talk about tacos. Taco Tuesday is lit.
I
in
remember
Pilsen.
Chicago had a great Mexican. Yeah,
Yeah.
because they authentic.
yeah. I mean, it's like
Authentic.
going to Mockley and
To the bone. So, yeah,
Cubs or the White Sox?
White Sox.
I was on
just
rapid
asking.
fire. I asked her yesterday. Actually, I was surprised when she said White Sox. And you want to tell
I had a chance to go to I've been to Wrigley.
tell the audience why are you a White Sox
I'm
fan?
a White Sox fan through and through, loyal
Through and
as
through.
can be, because it was my father's first major league baseball game that he attended at Comiskey Park when he moved here, immigrated here legally from Italy at the age of 9.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So you became.
You
a
became a
Sox.
Sox
So I'm a
fan, just-
Sox fan.
You got
Yeah.
indoctrinated basically to the White Sox
Yeah.
through your father. That's
Yeah.
cool. I like that.
Generational love for the Sox.
Yeah, yeah. Who's your favorite White Sox player of all time?
Paulie Canerco.
Yeah, I was thinking Frank
Frank
Thomas,
Thomas,
the
Thomas,
big
too.
cat, but
The big-
Paulie won the World Series, though. You know, I was able to
Yeah.
experience that.
yeah,
That was fun.
I can see that. Frank Thomas had a heck of a career. Who do you think? And I don't want to ruin the rapid fire, but who's your? I guess Jordan would be the favorite Chicago athlete of all time, but
Yeah, I'd say Michael Jordan.
yeah,
He's
and
the GOAT.
Lies.
he is the GOAT. Some say Kobe's better, but we also have.
Yeah, but you know, you're Chicagoan. You old.
No, I agree with you.
Old Chicago Stadium. You got the Bulls, the
I
White
love-
Sox.
And
I love
she
Chicago,
saw
though.
Michael Jordan play.
I saw Michael Jordan play
Live.
too. I also saw Michael Jordan in the strip club when we was in Atlanta
Well, I
together.
believe that's that could
No?
be any night. Yeah, it's probably had a
Him and
cigar.
Charles Oakley.
Probably had Charles Oakley was
The
on it.
Oak. I love
Charles
the
Oakley's-
Oak.
You love that?
Wait, I love the Oak. I absolutely love the Oak. So I have a dear friend.
Oh my God.
I have a dear friend who's very close to the Oak.
Oh yeah.
The Oak cooked a large breakfast for all of
Something
us.
about Charles Oakley, but
I love the Oak. I have his book. I love Oak.
Yeah. So
Charles Oakley, actually ex-Chicago Bull.
He's a really good cook.
Charles Oakley?
Yeah.
Really?
shit, I can see it.
Interesting.
You know he does like charity cooking events.
Really?
I can probably see that too.
Yeah, look it up. He's
That's
great.
interesting.
Yeah.
Boy, he
Great
was a
cook.
fiery player.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Oak.
Okay.
Here, well, let's roll into because our time is a little bit tight, but we'll circle back and talk a little bit more about what you're doing in the local political scene. But we can roll into our rapid fire game, and then if Larry has anything else, we can add to it. It's gonna be a little Italian theme. Just gotta pick one or the other. What happens if she doesn't pick one or the other?
You're a certified Democrat.
Oh no.
And we don't want that.
No, no, no. Never.
And this one's pretty easy, so I think you'll be able to pick one or the other. Because I know you like mob movies, Italian movies.
Yeah,
Go
I mean, who
ahead and-
doesn't love a
who
good
doesn't?
Right.
So, can she be the tiebreaker on this question?
She's certified to be.
Casino or Goodfellas?
Oh, Goodfellas is so good.
But-
It's so good.
Over
Goodfellas.
Casino?
Yeah, I love Goodfellas.
All right. Hey,
Listen.
certified.
Now, we always talk about it. I always tell the Goodfellas this: you got to go home. You got to go home. Now, where would you rank Goodfellas and A Bronx Tale?
A Bronx Tale makes me cry. It's such a good movie. I would have to say, if I had to rank Goodfellas, A Bronx Tale, and The Godfather, I would put A Bronx Tale first,
Over Godfather? Wow.
Goodfellas second.
Godfather third?
Well,
I mean-
hold on. You got to break up the Godfather series, right?
the
So,
best-
Yeah. Okay, I get
okay,
that.
so Godfather 1 is incredible. So I would probably have to put that first.
Mm-hmm.
Then A Bronx Tale. And then Godfather 2. And then Goodfellas, and then Godfather 3. Because Godfather
I dig
3
it. I dig
was like
Godfather 3 was not.
it. It wasn't as good.
It wasn't as
But
good.
Well, I think you're.
I like them. The first, yeah, I like that. I
So
like those pick.
Yeah.
I would go Godfather, Casino, Goodfellas. I think Donnie Brasco.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
but
just really? No,
not in my top 5.
no,
Yeah.
no. Okay, let's keep it rolling. Chicago theme. Well, deep dish or thin crust, because you have the Chicago aspect of it, and then you have the Sicilian
So if I
Italian
was
aspect. Of
going to Sicily, which I love to do every year to go see my family,
I didn't get my gift back, but go ahead.
we'll get you a gift. Don't you worry, Larry. I got you.
All right.
Okay. So in Sicily, it's
Mm.
thin crust.
Mhm.
It's like paper thin,
Yeah,
like wood oven,
little,
delicious.
almost a little.
It
burnt,
literally
yeah.
takes like 5 minutes to
Yeah.
make, right? Now Chicago pizza, I don't like the deep dish. It's a little too heavy.
I agree.
But the bakery pizza is delicious. It's like almost a focaccia.
Well, yeah.
It's delicious.
It's the one restaurant I love. I'm not gonna lie. This deep dish pizza in
In
Chicago.
Are you thinking Lou Malnati's?
Mm-mm.
Giordano's?
There you go.
It's good.
Yeah.
But
But
If they can,
Yeah,
if they can ship that to me.
you could get a Lou's shipped.
Mm-mm.
But you know, there's a lot of Italian restaurants that are coming down here to Naples. And
I've been noticing that.
Yeah.
and
well-
once these Italian restaurants open up in Naples, Blair, I'm going to be giving you a list of places to frequent.
I know someone who might be opening one
Me too.
very soon.
Me too.
You know that person too. He's opening with a partner that's got 6 or 7 Italian restaurants in Maryland. So
Amazing.
Italian guy. So
Yeah.
we'll keep you posted on that. How about cannolis or tiramisu?
Cannolis all day
Love
long.
cannolis. My
I know how to
favorite
make
dessert.
the
You know,
ricotta cheese, the
really,
filling.
really?
Oh,
that's
it's
where
so
it
good.
started.
Yeah.
You can't find a
Gotta
real
get a
good
good
canola in
cannoli
Naples.
shop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love, that's probably my favorite dessert.
Mhm.
Girl in the Goat or Purple Pig?
Purple pig.
Chicago beef or Chicago hot dog?
Chicago beef.
We're gonna do the Chicago or Smashing Pumpkins.
I'd say Chicago.
Jennifer Hudson or Shaka Khan?
I actually like Jennifer Hudson.
Really, over Shaka Khan? Okay. This is where it gets a little more difficult. Reagan or Trump?
Trump. All day.
Okay. How about Lincoln or Trump?
Trump.
Wow. Over our homeborn.
Well, here's the deal. Lincoln is a man of the people, right? He hails from Illinois. But we're in a new age.
That is true.
We're in the golden age of America.
But Lincoln is the reason why.
You were able to do the.
Because we almost,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's what I'm.
But, you know,
But we're in the golden age now.
We are in the
got to
golden
move
age.
with the times.
we do move with the time.
Yeah. We're making
You know-
America great again.
Okay.
Who started that slogan?
Who started Make America Great
Yeah.
Again?
Yeah.
Who came up with that slogan?
Who started that?
Was it Larry Love?
I wish you take credit. You'd be getting some nice checks right now.
I
for
know.
that.
Because a lot of people now, they think Trump is the first president to start that.
Who was it?
I'm just asking, did you know?
No idea.
You know, Ronald Reagan said that too.
Yep, 1980.
He did.
Came up with that.
Also, Bill Clinton.
Good to know.
But Trump
But Trump-
capitalized
Yeah,
off it.
he made a whole.
Yeah.
Reagan just said it.
Yeah.
Right.
That
We
was
gonna
Trump's
make America
slogan.
great again.
And
Typical
healthy again.
businessman marketer.
And safe again.
How about Ditka or Oprah?
Ditka. All day long. You know, the Bears won the Super Bowl the year I was born.
That's the only year they won the Super Bowl.
I know. I
85.
brought them good luck.
Good year. Good year for
Yeah.
wine too.
Hmm.
Throwing that. Governor DeSantis or Congressman soon to be Governor Donalds?
That's a no-brainer. Obviously, Congressman Byron Donalds. All day long.
Okay. Jordan, MJ, or Larry Love?
Larry Love.
Without
That's my girl.
hesitation.
That's my girl. That's
Without-
my girl.
Without hesitation. You got anything?
I'm just glad to see her.
Yeah.
I'm just glad she in the
Like-
building. You know, it's been a minute.
He was trying to call my bluff.
About.
He didn't think I was going to come down.
All right.
When he told me, I was like,
All right. He
I
was
thought
like,
it was weird. I said, she even didn't reach out to me.
She never even mentioned that she knew you.
She even didn't, he said, man, she even didn't mention she knew you. I'm like, what?
I
Because
wasn't going to drop names.
But
I respect that.
I respect that.
She
I was
did
like-
it her own way.
so I was like, no, that can't be Beth, because she would at least gave me a heads up. Like, she would have been like, yeah, I'm coming down.
Because I remember, like, vivid. It was a Saturday, and messaged me. I messaged a little bit back and forth, and then I think call or text, and I'm like, "There's a lobbyist from Chicago that wants to come on the podcast," and there's a lot of weird things going on, you know, in the circle and around stuff. So I was like,
Gotta be worried about people.
Yeah. So I'm like,
So-
are we good? And he's like, oh yeah, that's Elizabeth.
I said,
Good.
man, that's Beth. Hell yeah. Tell her, let's roll. Let's roll.
Rip's the best.
Rip is cool. Yeah.
So, what's next
Yes.
for you?
Well,
I know you got your firm going now.
yeah.
What's next?
What's next? So, obviously, you always want to keep growing, right? You always want to surround yourself with the smartest people. You never want to be the smartest person in the room.
Yeah.
I would love to lobby the Hill. I would love to be involved somehow.
You want to lobby the Hill?
I would love to lobby the Hill. I would love to advocate for causes that are aligned with my beliefs, both statewide, citywide, nationally. You know, I just want to keep growing, and I want to do that in the best way possible.
I'm still waiting to see the Beth side, but I believe that there is, because I saw the chill, relaxed side of you yesterday. So
Oh yeah,
I could see those. Someone would not want to be on your bad side.
I don't get mad very often,
But
but when
when
I
you
get
do,
mad, that Sicilian
Sicilian.
comes out.
I believe it. I believe it.
Sicilian come out.
It comes out.
You know, the guy that I'm working with for his congressional run to replace Congressman Byron Donalds, he's Italian.
Great guy.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. Certified.
Yeah,
Johnny Frado.
amazing.
Yeah. And
Would
you know,
love to meet him.
I'm gonna make that happen. And you know, one thing I always been fascinated with Italian culture growing up. I believe that's one of the reasons why I studied criminology, because I always loved, since I was probably about 11 or 12, I always loved reading about the mob, the secrecy of it,
Mm-hmm.
but more so also the way they dress. And the men in the Midwest, they're the best dressed men I ever seen before in my life. I mean, the way they wear their suits, they hat tilted, brim laid flat out with the cane and everything else. Them men, especially Chicago, shoot, yeah. That's what they have, the best suit makers, tailors in the world.
Yeah, we have some really good custom suit
Listen,
people. Yeah.
I have a lady in Fort Lauderdale. She's making me 3 suits right
Yeah.
now.
Well, next time you come to town, I'll have to take you to
Okay.
the guy that does everybody's suits.
I had one guy, he had made me 2 suits up there. And I'm pretty sure he's probably dead now, because that dude that was there, he's probably about 80 then, but he loved it. He'd been doing it for, what he said, like 40 plus years.
Yeah.
And I love those type of people. Like the lady right there, she's been doing it for, I think she said 50 years. She was doing it ever since she was like young, 20, I think.
That's
So
fine.
yeah, but I would love to go
Yeah.
do it, because I got 3 fresh pinstripes coming.
Oh, he does all different types of fabrics. He does like monogrammed cuffs. It's great. I've
yeah.
taken some of my stuff there to get like
Okay.
altered and
Well, I think you'll be coming to Naples more.
Oh,
Sounds
yeah.
like, so we're gonna have you as a regular guest anytime you come into town, and if Larry's in town, you're definitely welcome back on the show. You'll be an honorary regular guest. Larry's got to go. He's got a poor meeting. We're gonna go do a lunch review at the Ritz. So
y'all going to the Ritz. Y'all dirty rascals.
You were
You
invited.
coming?
No,
Nah, I gotta
no,
meet.
he's got to go
got
work.
business to handle.
Yeah, I got to meet old Congressman Mario Diaz-Balart.
So we appreciate you flying down, and be plenty more. Glad you got the chance to come on the live, and just an
Honored to
honor
be
to
here.
it's an honor to have you. We appreciate it.
You guys are the best.
Thank you.
Try. Again, we just trying to get on your level. Trying to get on your level.
We're just
Hey.
trying to get on each other's level.
Wilcox
Okay.
and
listen.
Grisanzio Consulting.
I'm trying to think of that. I'm trying to think of that one song or that one picture you had. She's
back.
Speaking of pictures, let's do a
Okay,
picture.
we gotta do the one
Yep.
sitting down as well.
Oh my
yeah.
God.
Do you mind real quick and we'll get out your hair?
Okay, wait. How do we do this? We just look this way? Do I move the water?
Thank you. Can you do one by the TV?
Amazing. Say hi. And then you edit it, right? I'll like- I see-
Take outside.
Good.
Thank you, D.
So what time y'all doing? I'll probably bring money in.